Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Taurus Venus or Venus and Taurus in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I had a series on the Venus signs in the natal chart, and they're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them, which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So first thing up, well, having your Venus and Taurus in the natal chart. Well, I mean, Venus, of course, is connected with relationships and your significant friendships. So, those people may actually be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant persons, or embody the characteristics of the sign. They may be people that are very loyal, steadfast, trustworthy, persistent, patient, persevering, but can be possessive and acquisitive as well. Um, One or more of these people may be in like a Taurus profession, which can include working as a stockbroker or a banker, or being involved in finance, working in agriculture, architecture, farming, gardening, or being an artist. And you really, in your own relationships, you may show, much loyalty to them. And, with a significant other, you may have more, a desire for sensuality, more so than the average person having your Venus and Taurus in your natal chart. Now, another thing is that Venus is connected with our love and enjoyment. And the thing about having your Venus in Taurus, you have it in its dignity naturally. There can be a strong love, for your money, your possessions, and really, too. I mean, you could be making money in some Taurus profession. It could be, or at least, and this could be also something you enjoy, including working in geology, being a geologist, or doing something with gardening or cultivation, agriculture, doing something with banking or finance, doing something of an artistic nature, whether drawing, painting, or sculpting, as some examples that come in. Of course, art encompasses many different things, even something in the arts like acting. Um, you may very strongly love, creature comforts, your peace, quiet, tranquility, things of that nature. There's more, very strong enjoyment, I would say, for stability as well. It's financial security or stability in a home life, as some examples. Now, Venus is also associated with our self-worth, self-esteem, and how we feel about ourselves. So having your Venus and Taurus, those things, that are tied in to your self-worth can be being, persistent, not giving up, um, stick-to-itiveness, having follow through, determination, and also just persevering, through adversity, through hard times, being patient, and also a financial security, being self-reliant, self-sufficient, not depending on others for monetary assistance. This could be tied very strongly tied in to, as far as having a greater self-worth and just having your security. Accomplishing, doing something that requires some endurance. It could be like an endurance sport, such as long distance running or weightlifting, or working out vigorously. Those kind of things can play dividends to your self-worth when you have your Venus and Taurus in your natal chart. Now, another thing about Venus is that it's connected with our latent talents and abilities. This people that have this placement may have a very good ability for art. Again, that covers a wide divergence of things, whether it could be painting, drawing, sculpting, abstract art, and also doing something in the arts, such as working as an actor or actress. I would say also singing, doing something that involves the voice, announcing, such as radio announcing, being a DJ, and also it could be having an affinity for working in stocks, doing something, with architecture, agriculture, geology, jewelry design. It could be something with carpet design, carpet laying, as some other examples. And another thing about having Taurus Venus in your natal chart. Okay, Venus is associated with money. So, I mean, it could show, where how you may make money, and just the attitudes, toward it in general. I mean, someone with their Venus and Taurus in a natal chart may have more of a desire to have stability, have more financial security and stability than most people. Having a steady income, having that security. This may be a person that can prefer to get consistent income, in contrast, to having some kind of, something more unpredictable, that fluctuates, day to day, week in and week out. Another thing too is that this person, they make money in, professions I was stating before, carpet laying, farming, could be gardening, cultivation, architecture, agriculture, farming, doing something with banking or finance. Something with stocks, like working as a stockbroker, as some examples. Doing something of an artistic nature or endeavor. Maybe it's selling beauty products, as some examples. Doing something with the voice, working as like a radio announcer or DJ, as some examples. Now, Venus is also associated with possessions. So having your Venus and Taurus in your natal chart will, as far as your possessions go, you may be more possessive regarding your possessions than the average person. You may be very, methodical and deliberate in terms of accumulating them. It might be where you accumulate your possessions at a slow, kind of steady rate, and they may often be acquired in order to, hold on to them for some time and sell them at a higher price in order to make money at a later point in time. This person may be a collector, various things, whether it could be, coins or some kind of, antiques or even comic books. I mean, anything that's, collectible that may be worth something more in the future. So it could always be, like art, and this person may also enjoy, buying, art, paintings, things of an artistic nature. Could be sculptures as well. Doing something, things that anything that is related, to Taurus, in general. So anyway, well, the next thing up, okay, Venus is associated with the food we enjoy. So having your Venus and Taurus in your natal chart now, the food enjoyed can be very like fundamental, very basic, kind of foods, like just meat and potatoes, things that just generally taste good. As many of you may know, I have a Taurus ascendant, and I really am enamored with just, I'm a kind of a meat, but with meat, potatoes type of food, burgers, fries, those kind of things. It may not always be best for your health, but they're good for your taste buds anyway. And also, doing things, anything that's just generally tasty. Could be having a sumptuous steak or cookies or a shake, candy. This is where, a lot of that, that food, that's the food, many, people with the Venus and Taurus may really enjoy. So, and the thing is, Venus is also, connected with values, what we value. And having your Venus and Taurus in your natal chart, the things you may strongly value can include loyalty, steadfastness, tenacity, uh, just your possessions in general, accumulating possessions, things that are connected with having a greater self-worth. You know, it could just be, having good financial acumen, financial stability. And also, too, of course, it's important to look for contraindicators and modifying influences in your natal chart, because This is just general description for people that have Taurus Venus. Venus and Taurus may be very methodical and very careful. Also prudent regarding spending. But when you have, let's say somebody has their Venus in Taurus, but they have maybe like a Leo ascendant, or they got Leo on their second house cusp, they might be a little bit more extravagant in their purchases than otherwise indicated. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.